Hey everyone, it's Rachel and I'm here with another process video. Once again, I'm still doing videos from my crop back in October, and I had brought some mixed media stuff with me and I realized I hadn't used it at all, and I finally went, you know what, darn it, we are going to use this mixed media. So I'm starting off with some clear gesso, and I just taped off that bottom part because I knew I didn't need any mixed media down there, and it's helpful to keep it from moving around while I'm scraping along with the gesso. I pull out this starburst, sunbursty stencil, and I believe that's from the Crafter's Workshop, and I hadn't cleaned it up from the last time I used it, which, if you keep, I'll explain later on. So, anyways, once I get that cleaned off, and that is, yes, the Crafter's Workshop mini something bursts. I can't quite read it, sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Ranger texture paste. Yes, it is Ranger texture paste, and that's what I'm going to use as my texture paste. I like the Ranger texture paste because it's on the thicker side, so if you want to add color, it doesn't become too goopy. And so I tape off the top part because I don't want any texture paste above there. I want it just in the center, kind of surrounding my photo. I'm going to be using one 5x7 photo for this particular layout. Now you'll see what I'm doing is I'm moving the stencil back and forth. This texture paste dries very fast, so I find that when I'm stenciling an area that's bigger than my actual stencil, if I can move it to where I just give it a little chance to dry for a few minutes, I end up with far less smooshing than if I don't. Now I've gone ahead and let my texture paste dry, and now I'm going through some papers. These are the Summer Sun pattern papers from, I think it's Fancy Pants. Is it Fancy Pants? I think it's Fancy Pants. I purchased off of my friend Deb a whole bunch of summer papers, both Summer Sun and Making Waves, and I decided I would go ahead and make a layout using the Summer Sun collection. I take that vertical stripe of yellow of varying widths and I cut it off, so I cut off two slight pieces because I'm going to put one at the top and one at the bottom, and now I'm taking my photo and I'm matting it first in this triangle paper, and it's taking me a while. I don't know what I did, but I accidentally am off kilter in this part of my video, and I apologize greatly for that. I did not realize that it was like this. I'm going to go back and matte a second time with this aqua and white polka dot, and now I think I'm done, but as I'm putting the papers away, I keep getting drawn to that floral piece, and I'm like, ooh, should I do it? And I decide, yes, I'm going to go ahead and make a larger mat of that floral piece, because if I did another skinny one, I think you would lose the prettiness of it. So now I am done with my pattern paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and get it out of the way. And anytime I use texture paste, I almost always try to use pop dots for my photos because I find it just sticks better than liquid or ATG glue. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to grab my Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. Now, if I were at home, I would use the roll of Scotch, what's it called? The adhesive tape, the pop dot tape. But I didn't bring it with me because obviously I wasn't going to travel with a giant roll. So I do use quite a few of the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, and it's fine. I have a ton of those suckers, so I'm good with it. So I'm just putting my photo there to get an idea of where I need to place my mixed media, and I am going to be doing the packaging technique using two different distress inks. One, I believe, is Ripe Persimmon, and the other is Abandoned Coral. And I'm trying to keep it where I've got the heavier ink down at the bottom, and then I do a lighter, oops, someone hit my table, and then I do kind of a lighter one more towards the top. So just for what the design I was going was for a lighter bit of mixed media at top and then going to a heavier version down at the bottom. Now, right now, before the photo goes on, it looks like a hot mess. Once I get the photo on, I'm very happy with how it looks. So I'm just going to let this dry for a bit, and while I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get my paper strips on both the top and the bottom of my layout. Now, somehow, probably because I moved it to go vertically and went slow, I actually managed to get these on straight the first time. I don't know if I was more amazed when I did it or watching it back now. Seriously, first time. Amazing. Super happy. Okay. Now I grabbed this piece, and this is just the reverse of that floral piece, and I want to do a line of journaling down at the bottom, but this is heavily textured paper that I then gessoed, and even though I didn't gesso all the way down at the bottom, there's enough that I would be concerned about writing on it. So I decided just to add that piece of paper to write my journaling on. And this, I'm just writing a quick bit of journaling, honestly, about just how aesthetically pleasing I find beach fences. I know they have an ecological purpose, but they are just so pretty to me. I always take pictures of them. There's probably several throughout my scrapbooks of beach fences. So I wanted to make another layout about it and how much I really, really like them. Okay, so off camera, I did remove all of those pop dot backings, and I did it off camera because I did it over by the garbage can, so I wasn't here. And so I'm starting my embellishments, but to be honest, I actually don't embellish all that much. I pull out that wood veneer, but I don't end up using it. I had thought about using these Amy Tangerine brush script words for a title, and I decided that beautiful, which I actually find beach fences and that sky to be beautiful, would be perfect. And I realized, you know what? I really don't want a lot of embellishments on this. So I use the word beautiful, and then I find on the same Amy Tan thicker sheet this open heart, and I place that on the left-hand side. And then there are a couple of flowers with leaves, and I put one over on the right-hand side, and then one over by the title. And I decide, you know what? Nope, I'm not even going to use that wood veneer. We're good. So I'm super happy with the way this turned out. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today. I'm going to show you some close-up peeks, and I'm done. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Flick me a thumbs up if you can. Bye!